It is commonly referred to as the largest human gathering of all, the Hindu pilgrimage Kumbh Mela in the city of Prayagraj in northern India. The 6-week festival only takes place in certain years and is now in its third week. Among its main attractions are Sadhus, holy men revered for their spiritual virtue and renunciation of worldly pleasures. DW's Adil Bhat reports.
Greeted like stars, a royal procession. Among the thousands of sadhus is Maha. He has travelled to the Maha Kumbh Mela from the desert state of Rajasthan. Devotees greet him and seek blessings wherever he passes. He is joining the other sadhus to take the holy dip in the sacred waters.
The entire sect is going together to the royal bath.
Mahant walks towards the river bank, searching for his sect leader and mentor, Ma Anand, a trans woman and a revered saint. Ma inspired him to embrace the ascetic lifestyle of a sadhu.
I'm fortunate to be able to join the other saints with my mentor. It's not just exciting, it's a very big day for all of us.
As Ma's chosen successor, he would lead this group of sadhus after her. He walks ahead, clearing the path for his mentor with just one thought: taking a dip and being free of the cycle of birth and death. They have been waiting for this moment for the last 12 years. In Hinduism, devotees believe bathing in the sacred water of the Ganges washes away their sins and brings salvation.
The wait is finally over, the moment where I was fortunate enough to take the royal bath and give myself to Mother Ganges.
After their holy dip, devotees surround them. Sadhus like Mahat and Ma are the center of attraction at this huge festival.
I'm truly delighted to see these sadhus. I've travelled all the way from Kolkata just to catch a glimpse of them.
Mahat and his mentor Ma decide to go back to their tent. As they pass through the crowd, they are greeted with chants and salutations, a sign of deep reverence.
Not everyone can become a sadhu. One needs to have knowledge of the scriptures. A sadhu should also have purity of soul and no longing for material pleasures. A sadhu should concentrate on the spiritual journey to God.
They reach their tent. Like thousands of sadhus, they have set up a temporary home close to the sacred rivers at the festival ground. They will stay here till the end of the festival. They share their spiritual experience with their neighbors.
We feel so energized here, blessed by our Mother Ganges. The joy of playing in her lap is truly divine.
Outside his tent, Mahat smokes marijuana. Like his fellow sadhus, he believes the resulting intoxication saves him from worldly distractions and connects him to the divine.
Let's now speak to historian Heramb Chaturvedi. He joins us now from Prayagraj in India. Now, sadhus are obviously the stars at the Kumbh festival, but does it at times come at the expense of ordinary pilgrims?
Definitely. You know, basically these sadhus, they have a very ancient past. You know, when you have Greek chroniclers talking about Alexander's visit to India, invasion to India, and when he's talking to the gymnosophists. So it was only in the 7th, 8th century when Shankaracharya tried to give an order, a perfect order to these sadhus, and he found these akhadas. There were 10 akhadas, now there are 13. Okay, 3 of them are Vaishnavas, 3 Sikh, and 7 Shaiv. belonging to Lord Shiva. But after that, a number of sects have crept in, though they are not part of akhadas.
Now,
These sadhus, they are supposed to have scriptural knowledge, but if he is smoking marijuana, naturally, he wants intoxication, not to be intoxicated by the knowledge of the scriptures.
so what does that mean then?
It means he is not a perfect sadhu. A perfect sadhu has to be away from two things, worldly attachments and also to be pure, pristine. And the real sadhus, they go for tapasya, for, ascetic, they lead an ascetic life for years together. Then only they become sadhu. They are ordained into some sect.
Now,
This gentleman does not appear.
excuse me for interrupting you there, but let me focus slightly differently. At the Maha Kumbh this past week, 30 pilgrims have died and 90 were injured in a stampede. What do you think caused these accidents?
I think there are 2-3 main reasons. There are multiplicity of causes, not just one cause, simple cause. Prior to this, you have built not one, but 32 pontoon bridges, 31 pontoon bridges. And you close those bridges. Then there has to be a stampede. You are barricading unnecessarily at unnecessary places. You have not consulted the earlier records. This is, I have been part of all this from 1971. I have visited every marg, every Kumbh, every Kumbh. But to tell you very frankly, there used to be volunteers from the civil defense, from Seva Samiti, from SSS, NSS to NCC, and even RSS volunteers. And they used to be there at the ghat. They were absolutely absent this time. They thought that the police administration would be able to manage. And this administration was just catering to the VIPs as well as to these sadhus. And because they thought these were the only people who were to be served.
You mentioned, again, the administrations. How does the government come into this? Are they responsible for these accidents, or is it the organisers?
It has been happening since early colonial period. And the fort is the place from where you can overlook the happenings. And therefore, it was very well maintained during the colonial period. However, things started changing from 1954, which was the first Kumbh after independence, after India's independence from colonial rule. And therefore, there was euphoria. And this euphoria resulted in a stampede. As soon as the stampede occurred, the President of India was doing his kalpas in the fort. Nehruji was at his home at Anand Bhavan, nearer to Sangam area. And both of them saw it, rushed to the area. And a very important committee was appointed under the then Chief Justice Kamalakant Verma ji, Chief Justice of Allahabad High Court. And the report is there, which says clearly no VIP movement should take place during these important dates of Snan. There are 3 Shahi Snans, One is Makar Sankranti, the second is Mauni Amavasya, and the third is this Basant Panchami. On 3rd February 1954 fell Mauni Amavasya. And therefore, there was a stampede. People went into, looking after the sadhus, just you saw in your clip. They wanted to touch the feet of sadhu. They wanted to touch his hand or something like that. And therefore, a stampede occurred.
The historian, Heramb Chaturvedi there. Thank you very much for sharing your insight with us here.
Welcome. Thanks and welcome.